1 and 2 and 2 and 1. Aw, shucks, I can't dance.
Hey guys, welcome to Up and Go Muffins. My name is Marshall.
Hi, Marshall. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Marshall. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Up and Go Muffins. This is my nephew, Marshall. Don't worry. I'll ask his mum whether we can put that on video. Otherwise, this part will just be blacked out.
You'll be anonymous.
Yeah, you can go now. You can go. You can shoot.
Just gets the boot. What an intro. What an intro.
See you, Marshall. I'll come out later. Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Yeah, so we're back again with another episode. If you listen to the previous episode, you know, like for us, we just recorded that. But
no, yeah. I've had my sunnies on for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and my walls are still empty and nothing's changed.
What would you do if they fused to your face?
What would
I do if they fused to my face?
They fused your sunglasses.
I don't know. The sun would never bother me again. It sounds great.
You guys ruined my joke. I was going to go into a joke. I was going to say, for us, we've just finished recording the previous episode, but for you guys, I know it's been 2 long weeks of waiting. So, you know,
that's
okay.
A joke.
I was going to say, are we going to talk about how you said you were going to come out later, or
who's coming out later?
You are, apparently.
What?
No, but notice when Marshall left, you told him he'd come out later. We've all been waiting, Daniel. We've all been patiently waiting.
No, that's not what I meant.
We've got a very special announcement for this podcast.
Yeah, this episode is brought to you by...
this episode is brought to you by Daniel's Sexuality.
Yes, sponsored by Daniel's Sexuality.
I have a girlfriend, a very lovely girlfriend.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Yeah.
Hey, she'll come on the podcast sometime, so you know.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not. She goes to another school. We get it.
All right.
Do you guys enjoy? We're going to jump straight into a question. Do you guys enjoy?
I thought you were talking to the audience for a second.
Like high school dramas, like high school drama. Not actual high school drama. I mean high school dramas. You know, as in shows, TV.
Yes, I
movies.
do. I very much do.
I very much cannot stand them. It is the most unimportant.
Oh, but nonsense. You can't deny it's great entertainment. Like, come on.
No, it isn't. It's cringy.
That's what
you
makes
have to watch
it good.
These kids be like, "Oh, my high school life, it matters to me," and it's like you won't remember this in 4 years.
Yeah, but people genuinely do peak in high school, and it's fun watching that.
Who cares?
No, but if you add like a twist to it, like 21 Jump Street, where it's adults who go back to high school and they've got to pretend to be like young people, right?
Yeah, but that's not a high school drama, is it?
Oh, but there's high school drama in there, though. That's why I say you add a twist to it.
I mean, because then you got Spider-Man.
Straight high school
is
drama.
Spider-Man high school drama?
Yeah.
I'd say you're
and
on
like high school drama
thing.
to me is like the Glee. Glee's all right.
Yeah, that's right. I haven't actually seen any Glee.
No, me neither.
Ooh, excuse me. But yes, I do. I love a good high school thing. To be fair, I did watch all of High School Musical, the series on Disney Plus. So not sponsored, by the way. But
I mean, I've seen High School Musical 1, 2, and 3, and those. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't watch them every day, but they're not terrible.
I just find it incredibly hard to care about the plot. But it's like Becky's sleeping with him, and I like him.
Yeah,
and it's just like, who cares?
Okay, no,
it seems so important at the time.
There has to
maybe
be.
I'm bitter.
There has to be something special about it for me to enjoy it, and even then, I'm enjoying it generally not seriously. You know, I'm not watching it like a Marvel movie or like a Tenet or like something like that. But like, you know, Descendants or High School Musical or
Descendants is pretty good.
Something like that. You know, you're watching it. I don't find them serious because I don't think they're meant to be serious. But like you're watching it to kind of laugh and
they're great. They're so good.
If you can deal with the cringe stuff, it's fine. I can't do cringe.
I don't like cringe content as a whole, but like when there's a level of cringe that's pretty good.
So you say.
Listen. I'm not putting out with your nonsense.
Yeah, you keep claiming that you don't enjoy cringe, but like, I believe you do. You're a cringe addict.
Keep claiming.
Can you enjoy something you guys just don't care about?
I'm not.
Pardon?
Like if there's something a character cares about, but it's just like, oh, I do not care. Can you still enjoy that?
I can enjoy
Hang on, can you say the question again?
Like when a character's motive is just so detached from like what you care about, can you like actively engage and enjoy that story?
Depends if I don't care about it because I disagree with it or not.
Well, I mean, because like for me, right, I don't like I don't watch like I guess maybe a dance thing or like a horse, right? Like those sort of horse girl movies, right? I don't care whether the horse wins or not.
I'm rooting that she falls off if it's a horse movie.
You know, and so like that kind of thing. And I expect the extension to be like extended to like race-based movies or something for people who aren't interested in racing. You do not care who wins, so you can't like it's hard to engage with the movie. High school dramas are exactly that. You know, for me, for you guys, I suppose. Like that area of life is still because you live you still live in the house you were in the teenagers. Not you, Luke, anymore, and I suppose not Dan soon enough. But you know,
so neither of us did.
You're being around that area for a lot longer than I was, you know. And it has very little to do with my life at all. And so when I see all these people making this big deal, well, when I see people making the big deal, and it's hard to be like, you won't care about this in 4 years, so I don't care about it.
Oops. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, like I can still enjoy a racing movie because I don't care about racing, right? But I'm not enjoying the racing aspect of it. I'm just enjoying, I don't know, maybe the other stuff that's going on or whatever.
Yeah.
It is part of the skill to make you actually care about what the characters care about. And like, so like, yeah, I can enjoy a horse movie if they do a good job making me care about what the character cares about. But there is like a certain things that I just can't care about, such as like petty drama.
No, but that's what I was saying. I don't have to care about the racing to enjoy a racing movie. Yeah. Right. I can enjoy the acting and everything that's going on, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do think you've got a point that there in most movies there are other things to enjoy beyond like the plot and the subdrama. But that's generally not the case.
Hey, if only the people who cared about us listened to us, then would have our parents and my girlfriend listening.
I mean, yeah, but
that's true. Because no one cares about me or Ethan. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean,
quick interjection about racing movies, Ethan. Have you seen Ford versus Ferrari?
No, I do want to.
It does look good.
I haven't seen it either, and I was just wondering if either of you two had, because I trust your opinions, generally speaking.
In that case, I do care about the car. I think it's an interesting thing. I care about the history of those cars, so that's why I want to see the movie. But I don't think anyone... I completely understand why people would be like, who cares? It doesn't matter, because it doesn't, but it's just like, well, I like it. And so so I'm not having to go at people who like high school movies. It's just I find them incredibly hard to enjoy.
Why do I feel offended then?
Yeah, right. All right, live left, Luke.
Stop it.
How does that come to you guys then with like with gaming, like either board gaming or video gaming? Like, can you enjoy a game? And I guess it would more happen with board games if like, and I guess it only happens for you, Luke, if like I bring a game to you or if someone else does or whatever. But like, if someone brought a game with a theme that you have no attachment to, like Battlestar Galactica or something, right? Like, if someone brought a game and it's like, hey, we should play this, do you think you'd still be able to enjoy it even if you didn't know the theme and like didn't care about it?
I don't use it as an example.
It depends how much the game relies on the theme.
Yeah, like for example, like say if you did bring a battle, I mean, I don't hate Battlestar Galactica, but let's say I didn't like the show. Just because it was Battlestar Galactica themed wouldn't make me not play it. I'd be like, okay, well, tell me like what mechanics does it have? Like what makes this game good? Like other than the fact that it says Battlestar Galactica on it. If it, like Ethan said, if it was purely like based off because the particular things in there are cool and stuff.
Yeah.
If like the whole theme of it being Battlestar Galactica is what made it good. I mean, I feel like in general that's a bit of a dookie of a game. But if it had like cool mechanics and like cool looking pieces and like the game just plays real cool and it's got like all that kind of stuff, then
it depends because I don't think games like the main draw of the movie for me is its story. I really don't care about and for the main draw of a game is its gameplay. And I don't particularly care about the theme. So if you took Ticket to Ride and you made it, I don't know, like the Oregon Trail or something, right? Wild West America with carts instead or something. It wouldn't change my enjoyment or lack thereof of the game.
It's not adding anything to the game. It's just changing the aesthetic more
for
than
me,
anything.
For me, like, so I haven't played Battlestar Galactica. There is a Battlestar Galactica game, and it's very well renowned. I think it's I went to look at my top 100 board games poster, which I have taken down and packed away. But I'm pretty sure it's in the top 100. And every time I've heard people talk about it that didn't watch the show beforehand, they said they played it and loved it. Then they later on in life watched the show and played it and realized how thematically connected it was. And like realized that everything in it made sense to the show.
Yeah.
And they loved it even more, but they still enjoyed it regardless. And I think it really depends on the game. So we have a game called Ruby Combat Ready. That game I would only play series. With Ruby fans.
Okay.
Because it is I enjoy the game, but I don't think I'd enjoy it if it didn't have the Ruby theme, or Ruby theme or a theme I enjoyed. Right?
Yeah. Would you what about people with just strong opinions on Ruby?
What do you mean?
Because I wouldn't call myself a Ruby fan. However, I have watched the show and I have opinions on it. But
if you enjoy the show or its aesthetics, I think you could enjoy the game. But if not,
I like the aesthetics. Yeah.
If not, I think the game would really not do it for you. It's like there's not much to the game.
It's like jokes and references and sort of.
It's pretty basic, like and it's just a basic game. Pretty much all you do on your turn is you play a card with a number, and you compare that to something else in the game, whether it's a die roll, whether it's another card being flipped over, and whichever is higher is wins, right?
Yeah.
If you enjoy the theme, it's got heaps of art, original art for that theme and flavor text and everything, and it's like, cool, this is kind of cool. If it was just kind of a bland thing, it would be a super boring game.
I mean, it also completely depends on the type of game, because I mean, like any role-playing game, the theme is incredibly important, right?
Yeah. If it's a story,
And I suppose that's where the game is in the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If the game is tied up to sort of like the thematics of the game, then the theme does it is important. Yeah. If it's something like Uno, I couldn't care less if they decide to make Uno rugby themed or something.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, if you,
it wouldn't change my enjoyment.
Because you've got like your Marvel themed code names, right, Daniel?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you were like, oh, I've got this, I don't know, D&D themed code names or something, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool, whatever. I'd play it, but it wouldn't make the game any better. So if it was like I said, if the game's like an original and it's something that I might not be super into, if it's got like whatever and it's not just a reskinned of a game that already exists, then I think it would definitely.
Because I suppose Munchkin is an interesting. Sorry for cutting you off, Luke.
That's right. All I was just going to end on is it's a bit petty to like not play something just because you don't like the theme, especially if it's like a new game, like a new mechanics and stuff.
I suppose it depends. Like Munchkin, I was just going to say,
unless it's Catan.
if there is multiple themes within the same game, right? Because Munchkin, you've got it's the same game, no matter what people want to say, just with a different theme.
Reskin.
Oh, I mean, even the publisher and designer wouldn't claim differently.
There's like different stuff, but it plays the same.
Yeah, they like I don't know. Some people are just like they like the one version better. But the thing is, if you like one version of Munchkin better than another version, the only thing you like better is the theme.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, I mean, it really does need to be talked about within the context of the game.
Yeah,
to make any.
We won't talk about games much longer, but like just in opposite to Ruby Combat Ready. Mechs vs. Minions, like I want to teach that to Gabby and like Kalana and Hannah, because I think the game is good enough by itself that you don't need
to care about League.
You don't need a connection to the theme, right? I think
you don't need to really know what League is. You just get introduced to the four characters.
And I think the mechanics drive the game enough and are fun enough that you don't need a connection to the theme. You don't need to know League.
I think trading card games. Sorry, Luke.
Oh no, you go.
Yeah, I think trading card games have a high reliance on theme more than other games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all I was gonna say really is just further back up, Daniel. If if you had brought that in, it'd be the same as you. Oh, I got this mean as cool game with like whatever. So what is Mix vs Minions? What's the game called? No, like the mechanic, like the style of it. I mean,
programming.
Programming, yeah. Or cooperative programming. Well, yeah.
Yeah, cooperative programming. Like if you just bought it and it just had like 4 random people I'd never heard of, I don't think it wouldn't matter.
I mean, one of the earliest known programming games is called Robo Rally, right? And it's just got characters that were made up for the game that are just random, like robots, right? You could just treat Mix vs Minions exactly the same thing.
It's exactly the same. Like it's obviously it adds more to your experience if you know like the history of the characters and stuff.
Yeah,
and you'll like see little references and be like, "Hey," because their Q does this in the game or something. But at the same time, it's like
it's not needed
to enjoy. It's not needed. It doesn't take away enjoyment. It just adds more.
Yeah.
I think in general, a good game should stand alone without a theme. Like it should be fun with just numbers on the cards. However, a theme does definitely add and can detract enjoyment from a game.
Yeah, it's more of a marketing thing more than anything else.
I would agree. I think it's probably more important than marketability. Like
people may have never played Codenames before, like going back to that, but then as soon as like a Marvel Codenames comes out, they'll be like, "Oh, cool! It's this new game. Or this game that's got Marvel characters on it. I'd be mean to try that."
Yeah.
So I think it more boils to. I mean, obviously, not in every case, but I think marketing is a big part of it.
Yeah.
At least with that kind of stuff.
I don't know. It just came to me when we were talking about like themes or stuff that we don't care about. Just. How
about is there anything that gets like your guys' blood boiling?
What you mean, theme wise, or
like that? No. Just in general, things that actively upset you. I can think of like tons of things that passively upset me.
I
like
record
traffic,
this
right?
podcast with these two guys, and they like actively upset me.
I do the same thing. I've also got 2 blokes I record with. It's so annoying. Every time they're just like, "Oh, let's record," and I'm like, "Why?"
To be fair, it's just this one guy, the bald one.
Yeah. Oof.
Oh, I got a bald one in mine too. Oh,
big oof. No, because I can think of plenty of things. I like
smooth head.
Yeah. I do need to shave it. Because I can think of plenty of things. I passively hate.
Are you just talking in general here?
Yeah, just things that frustrate you. Like you go, this is awful. Like it just makes your day worse whenever it happens. But is there anything like that you actively like dislike or get upset about?
Standing on sugar if it's on the floor in the kitchen.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like no,
I don't hate that, but it's just annoying. Yeah,
particularly like sugar. But like if you just stand on like food that's been left,
any
in the kitchen,
fine grain stuff.
Yeah,
that
any fine grain to just stand. That's why I always wear shoes in the kitchen because I don't know if people have spilled stuff. And I hate
also
standing
bad
on
in
sugar.
bed.
It makes me so annoyed.
Or
get up in the morning, I go like make a smoothie or milkshake in the kitchen, and there's like sugar on the floor or something. It's just like, my day's ruined.
Without getting personal with anything, because I can think of a few things personal. Like I guess it's just things that grind our gears.
What grinds your gears?
I have such obscure things that grind my gears. Like one is like they're just standing on food, particularly sugar or grainy stuff, like you said, Ethan. Another thing that always would just instantly annoy me, I really, really, really like cheese. I eat cheese on like everything. I always have a cheese and ham Sammy or something.
Yeah.
If I went in the kitchen and the cheese slicer wasn't where it was supposed to be, and if it wasn't there, I'd be like, oh, maybe it's in the dishwasher. And if it wasn't in the dishwasher, I would just get instantly annoyed.
Yeah.
I just wanted some cheese. I wanted to make a sandwich, and now I have to go looking for the cheese slicer, and that thing would just annoy me so quickly. As soon as it wasn't in the drawer, I'd be like, ooh.
Things not being
check the dishwasher, and if it's not there, I'd be like, okay, now I'm upset.
Maybe I should rephrase the question to like, what's one thing that will instantly ruin your day? For me, it is definitely for like expecting food, coming home, someone's eaten it, right? And I know it's stereotypical, but like that genuinely upsets me significantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
More than it should.
Ruin my day.
I'm pretty laid back. I'm sure if I like really thought about it, it'd be something I could like rustle up.
Yeah. I guess for me.
Oh. No, sorry.
You're a lot more laid back than me, though.
Yeah, probably.
I'm pretty high strung.
Like for the video people, I currently just have like, I'm sitting on a camp chair. I don't know if you can like see this sort of thing. Like, hold on, where is it? I'm in my room. Where's my camera? Here. I'm just sitting on like an actual camp chair, and I'm just like full on, one leg's up, got a multi-box there because I'm charging my vape, all sorts. And I've got my sunnies on. I'm just chilling, bro. I'm so laid back, bro. We're just having a good time. I don't know. Maybe like if like my phone didn't charge overnight.
Yeah.
I'm going somewhere in the morning.
I can see that being see, for me that's like upsetting, but I'm like, oh wow.
It won't ruin my day. I'll just be like, rats. Now I've got to like charge in the car and then charge in the ambulance and all sorts of things. Just I have battery to get through the day. But
leaving my earphones, like getting to work and realizing I left my earphones, that ruins my day. Like, depending on where I'm working, like I can generally listen out of my speaker, but even then, it's just like
it's just not the same.
It's not the same, and it just ruins my day. I'm like, oh, that's just annoying.
Yeah, I think maybe just like forgetting something or not forgetting to charge something overnight or something just didn't charge or whatever.
Most of mine are food related. Like, so, just things not like working right. I think really it's just having expectations not met for me.
Yeah,
like,
no, I can see that though.
That's fair though. That's fair.
If you're expecting something or like you've been told something right and it doesn't happen, even sometimes the outcome isn't that bad, but because you were expecting something else, like it just makes it terrible. It's like, well, I'm just really disappointed now.
Anyway, let us know in the Discord or send us an email at upandgowithmuffins@gmail.com. The email's in the description, or leave a comment telling us what you hate. And if we get any, we'll read them out in the next episode.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a whole what grinds my gears episode.
Actually, I'll tell you what does. It's like
doing that actually. Yeah, let us know some feedback, and we'll think about doing a what grinds our actual gears, and we'll include you guys as well.
For me, because I listen to the radio on the way to work and university a lot, and it's a talk show as well, so like a lot of people call in.
What radio do you listen to?
News Talk ZB.
Oh, I thought you would have said your car.
I was on.
No.
I was listening to them the other day.
They're the only one besides Magic, I think, who offer like a dedicated, like, this is a talk show. We're not going to play like all day. We're not going to play music, right?
Wait, so you want a talk show rather than music?
Yes, okay. I don't want to listen to music. Because for me it's just like, oh, what's happened today? What's happened? It's just sort of like fun. But like when someone comes on who's speaking about something I have an opinion on and I want to give a call, but I don't have access to my headphones. Because like I want to call into radio shows, but at the same time I'm like, oh, do I care enough? And I hate that part about me. Then I have like this whole rant to myself in the
car. Like Miriam, my sister, has said that she gets annoyed that like she wants to pipe in on conversations we're having on the podcast.
Yeah,
she'll like be cleaning and like we'll talk about something. She'll be like, just like, oh, but you should do this.
I'm gonna let Daniel know tonight. Oh yeah. I remember Ben one time. He's been on the podcast before. I don't know if I might have said on the episode.
I think you did, but yeah.
He waltzed in one day and he goes, "You said something that I'm not happy about. I disagree with you." And I'm like, "Hey."
It is kind of weird when we think about that. We've got like 24 hours of just what is essentially our opinions.
Our opinions and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, even me, like I'll listen back to. Yes, guys, I listen to the podcast. But I'll listen back to an episode and.
You disagree with yourself sometimes?
No, I don't disagree with myself. No, of course not. But I'll hear something, either one of like you guys said that I just didn't notice on the podcast, and I'll be like, hold on a minute, why did I not say anything? And I'll I'll message you and be like, excuse me, this is not right.
I think the main one you've messaged me about was when I compared what did I say?
Nachos.
Tacos is like tacos. Nachos is like soup. Or something like nachos is like soup, and what I meant by like, and I think you meant how the hell is it like soup? And because what I meant by that was something along, I think from memory was something along the lines where you've got chicken soup, vegetable soup, bacon and potato soup.
Yeah,
but
which you're still wrong about though.
I disagree.
No, we're not talking about soup.
No. I see. The reason you're wrong is nachos. I have never seen nachos with anything other than like mince or beans.
I don't think the important part about nachos is it being mince or beef. Because then it should have beans.
I said beans. I said mince and beans.
I say
Like, have you ever seen any other type of nachos then?
Yeah, I've seen nachos with like salad and like capsicum and stuff chucked in. Because the argument is that, for anyone who hasn't, the argument is that I don't see any meaningful difference between a taco salad and nachos.
You don't put salad in nachos.
Well,
I've had plenty of shredded cabbage,
down
lettuce.
To what does nachos mean? Is nachos exclusively the mince, or is nachos just the style?
Nachos is the dish.
Because to me, it's like burger, right? It's like nachos and what I mean by it's a style of food, and
here we go.
It seems overly.
Nachos are a norteño dish from El Norte that consists of heated tortilla chips or totopos covered with melted cheese, often served as a snack or appetizer. More elaborate versions of the dish include other ingredients and maybe blah blah. Okay, no, and that proves you right. So we'll ignore that
one. So then technically nachos is just some form of food.
That's my point,
cheese,
right?
Traditionally cheese on like
no, that's Wikipedia,
chips.
so that's not trustworthy.
Check
their sources. Check their
just
sources.
Something on tortilla chips. So technically a taco salad is
sure.
nachos.
That was my point.
But
I just didn't see any meaningful. Yeah, cool.
So just some more bookkeeping for this episode. This is my last episode, guys. I'm not coming back.
He's gone. No,
But let's do something off there. Like, what is something that is like that dish only? And I mean dish because there's plenty of things that are like desserts or sauces.
Pavlova,
tiramisu.
Sorry, you just
like tiramisu, right? You can really only make or something
you can
that's
add stuff to your tiramisu, but like
yeah. Actually, I'm trying to think of something that's like specific. Like you have to make it this way, otherwise it's no longer that thing.
Fondue.
No, because you've got cheese fondues and strawberries on
fondue.
Like, fondues.
Pavlova?
You're right.
Is there a different way to make pavlova?
Pavlova's just like a fancy meringue.
Yeah.
But
is there like a dish?
But if you make pavlova differently, then it's just a fancy meringue rather than I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, well, say with like a taco with nachos
lemon meringue
versus
pie.
Nachos.
I love lemon.
No, but you can still have other meringue pies. Oh no, you're just saying you like the meringues are like wicked hard to make though. So like, shout out to people who can make pavlova. I've never actually tried.
So I made the eggs Benedict. I made eggs Benedict, which of course uses hollandaise sauce, which is a lot of egg yolks. And boy, I mean, finding stuff to do with egg whites besides meringue is real hard.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, what else are you supposed to do other than just drink them for protein?
Yeah.
I love meringue though. Like lemon meringue pie is probably my favorite dessert.
It's pretty pog. Oh, hang on. Sorry for the people on audio. You can probably hear me getting notifications. One sec. Let me just close that.
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry about that.
All back and running.
Not audio. Sorry, on video, people. Go on now.
Radio.
So popular.
No, Mr. Popular.
Because we were trying to find a dish that's like
try to find something
addition of its own.
Yeah, you can't add or subtract from it. Like otherwise, it makes it something else.
I mean, you can always add or subtract something to anything, but it'd have to be some kind of like specialized thing. Oh, I can't think of anything.
Yeah,
it'd be some like real fancy thing where like.
I think it'd be like a pasta, maybe.
Less, it would
like,
be
probably more bread. I suppose a bread would be a good candidate.
Right. Yeah, sourdough is sourdough. I mean, you can use different flours and stuff to like get a wholemeal or like a white or whatever.
Yeah,
but that kind of boils over to my complaint, right? Which is that if you can change the ingredients, then it's kind of just like bread is bread, I suppose, even though there is variations beyond it. But I guess the claim was that it would be weird to say that. I don't know, sourdough isn't bread, right? Just because it's got different, like that. That was kind of my point.
Yeah. That's all in all, we've proved me wrong, and
that's got a sting.
We always get there eventually. One of us. No argument that goes unfinished.
Well, actually, here's the thing to talk about if you want something else to talk about. I'm bloody like if you're watching
how often Ethan's wrong compared to the rest of us.
Yeah, not often.
I think we've all got a pretty good rate, to be honest.
You've probably noticed I'm chewing on something. I'm chewing on a watch. What do you guys think about like watches with like your outfits and stuff? If you had the money, would you like? Because I think watch? A lot of dudes they like buy nice watches to wear with particular outfits or whatever. Like think of Stephen Strange, Daniel, when like he goes in his drawer right in the first movie and he's just got heaps of watches. That's quite a big thing. Do you like watches? Like if you had the money. Would you invest? Well, not invest, but would you like buy lots of watches and stuff that you think are cool, like
watches aren't a bad thing to buy because
not a bad. They're good investments actually. They can.
Yeah, they do appreciate. So you don't lose money on them most of the time as long as you're buying nice watches. If you're buying Rolexes and like high end watches, it depends on if you're just buying
to like. I mean, you do want to invest some into the thing if you want to get into that, but also it boils down to you just buying what you like.
But yeah, like I said,
I'll let you go, Ethan, and then I'll say
something. The short answer is yes. I wouldn't buy many. I don't think I would buy. Probably, I would probably have maybe 5 outfits and like of distinctly different styles.
Yeah,
and then I would maybe wear those.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for me, for watches, and I don't own a watch. And I don't know why actually. I have the money to buy myself one. But if I'm going to go out and spend money on a watch, like decent money on a watch, I'm going to. And this is me with a lot of things.
It's going to be the warehouse, and it's got Iron Man on it.
No. This is me with a lot of things, but I'm going to spend more money on the durability of the watch than the looks of it, right?
Like the stylistic thing.
Yeah. I would rather
to be fair,
have
Rolex are pretty long lasting.
Yeah, but I'd rather have one that like I don't necessarily need it to be waterproof and all that, but I want it to be kind of I don't have to worry about not whacking my arm on something, right?
Yeah.
And breaking it. I would buy a sturdy, more sports style watch, not necessarily a sports watch, but I think you guys know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Rather than spending money on a fancy, gold plated looking, watch or something.
Yeah. Although Ethan, I will just say on your comment about Rolex, they're like, yeah, sure, they're indestructible and they're strong and they're built to like take knocks and stuff. But if you scuff your Rolex, you're going to be
you don't want to do it. And I think
it
also
made
pays to mention
if you hit it, you're going to be upset.
Yeah, it also pays to mention the kind of the industry, the guys who collect watches are. They're normally people which appearance, as vain as it is, does matter a lot. People judge you. It's about making. There's like people who have nice watches. Don't necessarily always buy them because they like watches, but they know that it makes a good impression. And the best argument I've heard for like some guys who I know who have like who buy all their clothes from Kmart, but then have like a $10,000 custom suit and ridiculously expensive jewelry, right? It's because that's what they wear to business meetings. Because the idea is that if you're going in and you're asking for people's money and you're wearing cheap suits, they go, well, he obviously doesn't have money, so I'm not going to give him mine. And things like that. So it does depend on your industry. Like, it doesn't make sense for a tradie to wear a Rolex to work.
Yeah,
no,
exactly. So like, I think I
was just more curious about your like opinions on kind of watches with outfits and stuff. Like, do you like watches?
Yeah, I think I'd like one. I think I'd like a nice like suit watch, but I think to me it would mean more as a gift from someone. I'm not saying I expect. I expect someone to get me a watch, but let's say my dad passed down one of his watches, or like in the future my
wedding present or something.
Like say
a cool
I get a
family
watch
timepiece or something. Yeah.
Then that's something that I would appreciate more and really
wear it for the
nice outings.
For nice outings, rather than me going out to buy myself a nice watch. Like,
you wouldn't. You'd more like the watch would. You would get watches, but you're more on the sense of like sentimental watches or gift watches or special watches rather than you buy a watch to go with your outfit sort of thing.
Yeah,
jewelry in general, I think, like at least for me, I wear it sentimentally. Like I don't if I don't see like a ring or like a necklace or something and
go,
buy it because it looks nice. But I do wear some because they have sentimental value. They're from family members who have passed on or they've been given to me as gifts, such as, and they can complement an outfit.
Yeah. I mean,
that's fair.
I wear 2 pieces of jewelry. I wear a ring that I have, and it's one that I bought myself from an antique store. And to be honest, I don't know why I bought the ring. Like I just was in the I was in the antique store. I had just got a haircut. I saw the ring, and I just was like, wow, that's a really nice ring. I really like that.
That's a neat ring, yeah.
And so I bought it, and I'm like, it has meaning now just because of certain things that have happened with it, and like it. But at the time, I just bought it for myself. I probably wouldn't do that again. I wouldn't just buy a ring, but like I said, this one has developed meaning, and so I'm very attached to it. And then the other,
I suppose one has to, like, unless you're getting a ring passed down from generations from like the 1800s or something. Yeah, at some point there's got to be the first ring.
And like the only other piece I wear is this dog tag, which was given to me by my 21st, and like has a Bible verse on it, and so that one has meaning as well. So yes, I agree with you. Like, I mean, I don't know when I bought this; it was a long time ago, but like, now I think jewelry, I mostly see it as sentimental, meaningful pieces of article. Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure. I don't think you two want to get tats. I do.
I do.
And but if I do it, I'm doing like my entire upper body, and I'll do it in one massive piece that tells like a narrative story, and like make it very artistic. Like, I don't want to just collect them as I go, like so many people do. And so it's like something that I would have done in my late 30s or something. Yeah. When I can actually like afford a good tattoo artist to do it. But I feel like it's something like that. You want to get something sentimental and meaningful. Where I see a lot of people, like, I don't dislike tats in general, but I don't get people who kind of just go along and collect them and then just have it like put in where there's free space.
Yeah. Scorpion on my body. Oh, scorpion tattoos are cool.
Yeah. No, I mean, just on that. I do know that you want to get a tattoo, Luke, and I'm not against getting a tattoo. I would actually, I kind of like tattoos, but I like opposite to you. I wouldn't get a big one. I'd want to get a small one, and but similar to jewelry and everything, I would want it to have meaning and a story behind it. Right? I wouldn't just get just a tattoo. Like,
and I shouldn't generalize and say that most people haphazardly get tattoos. Most people do have some sort of sentimentality behind their tattoos. I guess it's just you always hear about the bad ones. So
yeah.
Have I told you guys about an idea for a tattoo that I had?
No, don't probably, but I haven't heard of it.
I'll tell you anyway, because I think I'll get your thoughts on it. I mean, it's probably not going to happen, but it was just an idea I had. Obviously, I've talked about, especially on last episode, how much I like space, and I know it's come up before. And I had this idea. I kind of want to get a solar system, like kind of down my forearm, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
I think those ones are cool. I was thinking,
if it's heavily stylized as well, that'd be really...
what would be really like building a solar system in a way down here or wherever, probably down there on my forearm, because I think that's a cool place for them. And I was thinking, what a cool idea or sentimental thing would be not necessarily all at once. Like, maybe if I start now and then get it in the future, build on it, would be each planet represents something special in my life. Or I get a bunch of like my close friends or something, or a memory I've had with that person. I get them to draw me a planet, and then I'll have that properly done over by a proper tattoo artist or something, and then kind of build like a solar system of different planets, each planet representing either a friendship or something.
Would you do that as you go?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if I'd like wait till like 30 now,
and then be like.
I don't know if I'd like wait till later or kind of start now and build it up, or get one now and then kind of stuff in the future, get a planet that represents, or just approach like you two and be like, hey, long time mates, whatever. Do you each want to draw me a planet?
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think in terms of like arm tattoos, I would stop at like a little bit up the wrist.
Yeah.
Like probably cut off there. Anything you can basically wear like a shirt and hide it all. I don't think I would ever have any visible tattoos. Like, I wouldn't go up the neck.
I wouldn't go up the neck.
Cut it off at the collarbone. I like the solar system idea. I think that's really
yeah. That's an idea I had. Like designing a solar system. It doesn't even have to be like big planets. I can fit heaps. Like even like, I don't know. There's all sorts of different ways you could do. You could have like a big, like, say a planet is like green or whatever, because I think I'd probably go semi-minimalistic with it, because I like the whole like minimalistic, just like even just for like an Earth is just a green circle, you know.
I'd like to do sort of like one of those like I'd like to do one of those things where like you really go and find out your history, like you pay a historian to find out your family history and you go back pretty far, right?
Yeah.
We've got that. We've got a like family tree that goes back pretty far. That someone.
I've got a family tree that goes back pretty far, but the thing is, we only like know their names. Like, I would like to find out what they did, they did. If there's like, and so like you can sort of do something. I don't know, a little bit of history on it, but I think that's neat.
Yeah, because like I could design like, say, the green planet, Earth represents, let's just say it represents life as a whole, like my life, and then
all right,
I don't know how this would be drawn out. Like I'd have to like properly think about it. This is all just ideas at the moment, but then kind of orbiting that planet, maybe I've got heaps of little other moons or whatever, and each of those moons represents a person or a very particular event or something that. So kind of like a whole like your arm is your thing tells a story, you know. I want tattoos that people go, oh, what's this one, and I can tell them, not just I thought it was cool.
Yeah, similar to that.
You're gonna get a flaming skull.
Nah.
Similar to that, I feel like would be almost a music sheet, you know, where each note is the same. Each note, you know, is for a person or for a.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Event or something like that.
That's
right?
a good idea, actually. Hold on, I'm not going to rax your idea, but that's a cool idea.
I doubt I'd get it. Like I personally wouldn't get a tattoo without praying about it pretty hard, and you know, probably if I'd be getting a tattoo, it would be after I'm married or in a serious relationship. I mean, I'm in a serious relationship, but I mean, like engaged or something. And so I would, you know, be praying with my significant other, you know, talking about whether I get it or what. It wouldn't be, yeah.
If I ever did any significant academic work that won a prize, I think I would like to get something related to that tattooed.
Yeah.
Like
what's the equation that Einstein saw, the M equals
E equals MC squared? I mean, I wouldn't get something like that.
I'd get something cringe like that tattooed.
But like,
of course you would.
But I mean,
of course
like,
I would.
Well, so you got to do your Vape Nation backwards because of
I think
cameras are flipped.
if you're talking about E equals MC squared, I think it's far more interesting to like do the complete derivation. You know, so you like you start
I'm being super cliche.
Yeah, I know.
You can do photosynthesis.
I think that could be cool. I think it could be cool if like you started from like. You did the entire like working of the equation, right? From where you start to where you get to E equals MC squared. Yeah. I think that's cool. It's actually relatively short.
Like that, or like a diagram or something. Like something you really like. Like I don't know. I'm thinking of
look at
maybe
this
like
graph.
Not a graph so much as like say there's like a cool build up of someone doing like a not super what's the word, complicated like diagram or something, but how like an event horizon of a black hole works or something. There's like a mini diagram for that or whatever.
Yeah,
something like that.
Diagrammatics.
Diagrams would be pretty cool, actually, now that I think about it. I definitely want something like space themed, but there's also like a few other. I've seen tattoos.
There's some really neat physics stuff.
But yeah, I'm not.
But like, especially because I'm into like ciphers. I think that would be fun to have a few of them on.
Yeah, like you could get that like that cringe thing with that rectangle, that square that never meets up.
I do like those. I like abstract geometry.
Well, I like Celtic knots.
I can see that.
I like kilts.
I was talking to Gabby about just rings and stuff, and I was saying like if I was going to get a fancy ring, because I'm not a big fan of fancy rings. Like for rings, the simpler just it is, plain. The better. Yeah. But if I was going to get a fancy ring, it would be kind of like your ring. In that, it would be
my wedding band.
Yeah, it would be a Celtic knot style. Kind of an engraving into the ring, or like yours is separate bands or something like that.
You'd probably be better off to like actually like maybe like make a knot like with the white metal. I think that would be pretty neat.
Yeah, but like, I quite like that, and that's like the most complicated I'd want my ring to get.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. What on a similar topic, and I know Luke here already has a piercing, but how do you feel about piercings?
I have no strong feelings on them either way. I don't particularly want one. I actually the only one thing I do have strong feelings is a septum piercing. I'm not a big fan. Like the bull ring.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting like the one through the actual nose, but obviously I haven't.
Yeah, like a nose piercing. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, nose piercing versus a septum piercing, I think. But
yeah, I mean, bull's rings are stuff for me. I mean, and like the thing,
I wouldn't get a bull's ring.
Yeah, I don't particularly care.
I mean, I kind of just got a piercing because
you've got your ears pierced, right?
I got one ear pierced, the left side. I don't know. I was looking at myself in the mirror, in the rearview mirror of my car, and I was like, "Wow, I wonder what I'd look like with a piercing." So I went and got one.
Well, I suppose those piercings are like they close up. So
yeah, they close up if I leave it. So I was like,
it's not a big commit. It's not like a tattoo.
I don't like it. I just won't wear an earring.
Yeah,
it's something you can't take off a tattoo, but you can take out an earring.
Yeah, I think piercings can be done tastefully.
Yeah,
it's just like tattoos.
I thought it was funny. Like it means I can go to the earring shops and just buy these stupid, funny-looking earrings or whatever.
Would you ever get like one of those like those dream circle things? Or what do they have? What are those things? Those really ridiculous like hoops they're worn.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you pierce the right one? You did pierce the right one, didn't you?
No, I pierced the left one. I'm not.
I mean, yeah. Wait.
I'm not a homosexual, Daniel. I did not pierce.
As far as we know,
no flame. But no, I pierced the one that is not a How do I say this without accidentally sounding offensive?
Gay.
The one that is not a
you
signal.
Can't say that. No, but no, I did. I don't know. I just was like, I'm gonna get one just because I feel like it, so I did.
Steve Hughes is a good joke about that.
Yeah. Plus, I don't know. I got bored the other day, so I shoved a safety pin through there, and well, that is a piercing.
You're such a e-boy.
Yeah,
funny.
Yeah, he
Cringe.
is. He really is. I don't think he's even like claiming.
Look,
otherwise.
I add diversity to this podcast.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
you two are boring and vanilla.
I've heard people say we need to get a bit more diversity on, like some women, some homosexuals, some coloured people, and we go, no, we just got Luke.
We got me, bro. Yeah, Ethan's a nerd.
He's South African.
Daniel works with plants. I don't know. Someone's got to make this interesting.
Plants.
Yeah, it is funny because Luke is by far the most zoomy of us. Me and Dan really are like boomers.
Well, it's not that I'm the most zoomy. It's just that you two don't like. How do I say this? You don't keep up on internet culture, so to speak. Like,
you have a life.
You guys just wake up in the morning and go,
look,
yeah, it is what it is.
You keep
day
up
of
on.
Life.
Sorry, you keep up
but
on
that
pop
is part
internet
of your
culture,
life, I
Luke.
should say.
Stop interrupting me. I was interrupting Luke, but that doesn't mean you can interrupt me. Okay.
It's a vicious cycle.
Luke, you keep up with pop internet culture. Ethan keeps up with like news internet culture, like as in just like what's going on around the world.
Though?
And like I just don't keep up with any of it. I know what board games are coming out. Like, yeah.
Yeah, Daniel lives under a rock with like events for very specific things.
I suppose
Ethan lives in the 60s, and me, I don't know. I'm hip with kids. You know.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it's also just like you spend a lot more time gaming socially, so like the meme culture and that stuff is a lot more part of your life.
Just the circle, the groups and stuff that I'm in, and the content that I like is just normally up to date.
And me and Dan are a lot more sort of set
gamer.
in our ways in terms of like we've got very specific interests, and it doesn't change from week to week.
Yeah,
I mean, there is news in the board game industry, but it's not like revolutionary every week or like it doesn't change. Like
even the
dies.
Even the revolutionary news is like someone selling their another company buying another company, right?
Right.
Like Asmodee bought Z-Man Games. It's like, well, hey,
Did you guys hear about Sorry.
So like you said, there's no revolutionary board game.
Are you going to say Microsoft buying
Bethesda? Yeah,
Bethesda.
Sorry,
attempt to say
they bought ZeniMax, I should say.
No,
who happens to own? No, yes, they bought ZeniMax, who owns Bethesda.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought they had.
Owns or parent company?
Same thing.
Oh, okay, might be.
Yeah, no, I heard about that. I mean, I'm excited because I'm an Xbox person anyway, and I like Bethesda. So. Yeah.
Well, the other thing, my concern is id Software because they make the Doom Eternal games, and I've got that on my PlayStation, and I would like to continue to have it on my PlayStation.
But it's not like they can, because Microsoft.
They don't take stuff off, do they? Like.
They can.
They might.
They can refuse to update. Continue to update.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb.
They wouldn't.
Bill Gates still very involved with Microsoft?
He owns the company. I don't think
he does own it, right? He hasn't stood down or sold or.
No, he doesn't actively involve in the day-to-day running, to my knowledge.
Okay, but he owns it though. Still, it's still his company.
Yeah.
Or he owns the most shares in it, or however it works. I don't know.
Same thing.
Okay. He owns enough shares where he can say that it's his.
He's a majority shareholder.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure if because I haven't seen Microsoft and Bill Gates in the same sentence for a long time. So
yeah, well, I mean that is an interesting thing how corporations become detached from their founders. But
the founders still own the entire company. They just don't have anything to do with it. Well, I mean, he might. I just don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, I think one maybe his family has something to do with more of the running, but he himself is sort of more into his philanthropy nowadays.
Yeah, because he's got the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation,
installing 5G towers.
Yeah,
putting microchips
injecting us with horrible things. No, it's controversial. We should.
Everything is controversial. Like someone will be offended by something we said.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. So you like be careful, but you don't be like.
There is an interesting thing with offense where it's like there is a line where it's just like no. I wonder where you draw that line where someone's like maybe I am being a bit of a like maybe I'm being too provocative or like they're too offensive or they're too sensitive.
But at the same time, some people would like watch this podcast, look at my room with all my white walls, and call me a white supremacist because there's no color.
I think that's a bit of a stretch. I
know
what you. I know
that exactly, but there are people who will genuinely think like that.
I know what your point is. That there are people who are like insane,
extremists.
But they're. But I mean, you can find people like that, at all ends of the spectrum.
And the problem is, it's the extremists who kick up the stink, and then you've got to apologize for it.
Yeah, I mean. Sure, I mean that's an extreme case of extremism. But I mean, like, if you're talking about more like, if you're talking about more of the reasonable extremism on both sides, if that's not paradoxical.
Okay, here's what you'd get though. You would get like, let's say we're talking about our rooms, right? We're just talking and like saying, oh, I quite like this room. And Luke's like, yeah, I quite like my room. It's nice and plain and just simple. I like the simple whiteness, or something like that. Then people would jump on it. I think. People genuinely, if someone listened to this that was that type of person, would jump on that and be like, how can you say you like it because it's simple and white? Are you saying that you hate, black rooms and black walls?
I feel like that's a little bit of an exaggeration in terms of character.
I don't know. I think I know people
you don't
that
know
would
what's
do that.
going on in the world these days.
I mean,
no. But
I think
you're both right. Like, I think that is extreme. At the same time, that wouldn't surprise me if that happened.
I feel like that's a bit strawmanny. Like in terms of the people who do cry rights supremacists, they don't always have a good actual thing to go on. But most of the time, it's it's somewhat fair. It's just like you don't want to be like the thing with it is I'm just the one thing I'm careful with is just not characterizing them as morons. There are some people who are like morons, but like I it's disingenuous to be like people do blah. It's not like you've got like
to stereotyping and that's not.
It's a dangerous.
Stereotypes
and it's also
are there because they are true, but like it's at the same time it's like.
It's also like not a good idea to just go, anyone who disagrees with me is, radically, radical and stupid. Like,
I mean, that's not what we're saying, but yeah.
I know, but like, I feel like it's a slippery slope when you still start, you can see how people go from like seeing that and then just moving to anyone who has a different view.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but then I am exposed to like, a lot of that sort of more, culture in that way, where like it does sort of get very much like anyone who's not. You get this ridiculous if you're not completely for me, then you're against me, which is nonsensical.
Because you're a valet driver, I'm sure you get a lot of like customers, passengers, whatever the word is, just going, finna never see this man's again, and they don't know who I am. Flip and just tell them how much I hate this particular race of people or something. You're like. Up to?
Have I've had one. I've had one case of racism. In my days of driving.
Down with a case of racism. It's awful.
No, I don't think I've had like any like people. More or less in this country, like bad isms are still sort of like you check over your shoulder, type thing. It's not. They're not like people don't. In my experience. The majority of people don't just come out and go like, "Man, I sure don't like this group."
Yeah.
Although I believe I was having like a bunch of I was picking up a bunch of Asian people from the airport, and there was some guy who was very upset to be in the van with them.
Oh no!
Sorry, no, it wasn't a man; it was a lady.
Oh no!
But I mean, Christchurch is. Christchurch is interesting because there are legitimate Nazis in Christchurch, and I've run into them a few times.
Oh gosh!
Well, it's such a strange thing.
It's not. Isn't I mean, I know what you mean, right? I know what you mean. But
isn't like
technically
isn't neo-Nazi?
Isn't Nazi like technically the specific group that they were?
Well, they I believe they. I don't know much about it because I'm like. I'm not a Nazi.
I'm just curious.
So
like,
my
historically, that would be like calling
what
us
is a Nazi?
That would be like calling us one of, I don't know, the 12 disciples, right? Like, hey, right, I'm one of the 12 disciples. It's like, well, no, that may be your belief, but you're not, because those were particular people.
Yeah,
so I'm just curious. I think, was Nazi a term, or was that like actually the group of people?
I think you get a lot more specific. Like if you're talking about like the Gestapo or what was his face?
Hitler,
Goebbels, and the generals. When it comes to like the neo-Nazis, and I think it's just a catch-all term for white supremacists. So basically,
I think it's pretty much just that.
Nazi has basically became like someone who believes they're better than someone based on their race, which is stupid. It's
But I feel like Nazi shouldn't be used for that term. It should be used for people who would actually do something about it.
What Hitler thought or something.
Well, right. Yeah, like the guy that shot up, Christchurch, right? Which is where you are, right?
Nazi.
Right.
Yeah.
I would call that Nazi because he didn't like it, and he actually did something about it. He actually went out and did something like terrible about it, right? Someone who just has that belief, but is like, horrible. It is wrong to act on it. Sure, that's still a bad thing. But I wouldn't call that person like a Nazi. Like,
I'd call them
identity politics. Identity is weird because it's like, well, like what makes someone like does someone believing something make them belong to a group, or like is a belief as bad as an action? And these aren't clear answers necessarily. I do think it is useful to like. I mean, maybe there should be a different word because I mean Nazi has historical context. And that's understandable why people don't want to use it. But I think the idea is basically it's also the reason it's used is for shaming purposes, right?
Yeah. I mean, the reason it's used is to bring up that idea and picture in your head of the Nazis, right? And the terrible things they did, and so that you connect the two together. That's the reason it's used.
Because I mean, white supremacist does sound a little bit softer or something,
It makes you sound like. Which is what they believe that the whites
sound like you're playing Call of Duty lobbies.
But it doesn't have that sort of it doesn't necessarily have that same hateful.
Doesn't make you go oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it should, but it doesn't.
I know what you mean. It doesn't like the word itself doesn't provoke an emotional response. Words are weird, right? Because like
words are so weird.
You can say the same thing in a different way, and like one will provoke an emotional response, right? I remember like the case with Stephen, who would say shit. And that would be upsetting to certain parents within that group, but it just wasn't a swear in his household, or it wasn't a bad word. But if you say poop or dud or something, or something that literally means the exact same thing, like it was just like you don't need to change the meaning. It was how the word was said that caused offense, which is why I can't wrap my head around that. Right? That's why I personally I've never found.
It's always interested me how like we give words power. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do think words do much.
That's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah, words only. It's weird to me because it's like
and stuff. Yeah, I mean, a lot of them aren't particularly nice words, but at the same time, it's like.
But to me, it's just strange how like not the meaning is offensive, but the sound of the word.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, it's just.
They don't even think that. Oh, he said that word. That means this. They just hear the word, the sound, and they go. Oh,
creates an emotion response. It's interesting.
It gives you an emotional response. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Here's the one. We actually talked about that. We won't go too much longer on this, but we talked. We had a discussion about it once at Bible study, and someone brought up. It was a new person who was just staying with a friend of ours for a while, but he came in and he brought up. He's like. Is it bad when you say something that brings up the thought in someone else? So, for the example he used, right, is someone he was talking to someone and they said BS, right, as in bull crap, right? And he's like, the person didn't say the word, but they made me think of the word, and it's just, you're right. It's interesting how language is just interesting. Words, like,
I think in that case, it's like if you like don't say the word and someone like thinks it and they're getting upset with you, they need to tell you.
I think
I don't think it's on you to be that super policeful.
Yeah.
You're obviously making an effort not to say the word that incites the emotion, but then like if someone has a problem, then you speak up.
There is general understanding that words incite emotions, and so we don't say some of them in public. But to me, the idea of swearing, which is essentially a thought crime, right? Like you said, you brought up, is it bad if you think if you think the word, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's thought crimes are stupid. Like that's what it borders into. To be, because like you said, I do think it's the action that's more important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, like I think I've said it before, but like with swearing, for me, if there are people in the current group that like I'm hanging out with who don't like it, don't say it.
Just don't do it.
Simple as that. If no one in the current
being decent.
Yeah, if no one in the current
it's really
group,
not hard to do.
Yeah, if no one in the current group finds it offensive, it's not offensive. Like
no.
I try not to swear in general just so that I don't slip up when I'm around the groups.
Yeah, don't want to develop habits.
Yeah. So I mean, like I get laughed at because now I just end up saying poop face.
Yeah,
you know, cause
you stinker. Yeah, you stink.
But yeah.
Yeah, avoid bad habits, but like if no one's offended by it, I don't think it's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, language is such an interesting thing. We could probably do a proper episode on just like neat, interesting language things, and like, just the way we communicate with each other. I mean, like, and how that's changed, and how much communication isn't in language and body language. Because I don't know about you two, but I hate texting about important things, particularly you, Dan. And I don't mean that in why, because I can't read when me and you arguing in person and arguing over text is two completely different things, and I really dislike arguing over text because of, at least with us particularly, how much of the communication is in body language, tone, and just voice.
I mean, but even sometimes it will be like, you know, sometimes I think tone and voice is enough, but other times I think body language is needed too, because like there'll be times, right? There'll be times where we've been playing a game, right? We've been playing League, and me and Ethan are going off about an argument. I'm leaning back like this, right, with this face, you know, saying like, "No, I think you're wrong. I think
smiling,
you know, very particularly
Theo or someone will let Alex out like all the time because we would be quite fierce with each other.
But like I'm literally like this, straight face, no emotion. Like I'm not heated or anything.
Invested in it.
You need
as
that
soon as you
to
get
understand that.
Yeah.
You know,
Sometimes
the voice is enough because you can hear that they're not annoyed, but like, it's just, you're right.
No, surely this is spoilers for later episodes.
yeah.
Little taste. Stay tuned. We'll talk about body language and languages and communication as a whole at some point. Sure, that'd be fun actually.
Yeah, I think we will close up here.
I know. No, I just sounded real boring. Now you gotta stay tuned and listen to it. That'll be mean.
Yeah, no, I think it will be cool because like you're right. There is so much about language and communication.
Exactly. You might even learn something because this is a fact show. Remember?
Yep. Remember, Sanitarium approved fact show. And so just lastly, like, I think it would be cool. You should pop into the general. When this episode comes out, I'll pop a question in there. Just like what really grinds your gears. And if it's personal and you're okay with it, and you're okay with it being on the podcast, put it in there. But anything, just, you know, and we'll do a podcast. We'll do an episode on it.
Send us an email. Leave us a comment on YouTube.
Yeah, Instagram,
jump
wherever.
on the Discord servers. Links are everywhere. In the descriptions, all everywhere. Jump on. Communicate. Let's have some yarns, guys.
Yeah, no, it would be good. It would be good.
I promise I'm not high, by the way. I'm just like I said in the last episode.
I think we know what's
full on chilling.
Chilling. But yeah, until then, who knows what's coming next? But hopefully it'll be fun. Yeah. And the last thing to do is to say goodbye. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening and watching. See you in the next one.
Ciao.